it was
Mhm.
like enough, but it wasn't saturated with it where it was then, kind of on the corny side,
Yeah.
or the stuff that like, okay, let me just pass on that. So this book makes me want to read the next one, which I'm excited because it's a whole kind of different little thing with
Yeah.
murder mysteries, which is another one of my favorites. Like, so serial killer. So how you mentioned before that there's two females, right, who are the leads of this one, and that it's about serial killers. Is that right?
Yeah. So the first book in the series called The Murder Game. This is the one that kind of kicked it off. Again, I could have made it a male FBI agent, but again, I think female characters are so much more
Yeah.
interesting. I made it a character who, her nickname, if you will, is JJ. And the investigative reporter that she meets as the book progresses is named Kristen. And they end up working together on the case because Kristen's superiors are not offering her any assistance. They only
Right.
gave her this case because they thought it was open and shut. Even she couldn't screw it up in so many words. She's not well
Yeah.
regarded. She's not one of the boys. She's had a lot of things that have happened to her throughout her career and throughout her life. She's lucky to still have a job in so many words. But the way I started this book out, it's set primarily in Dallas, and I travel a lot in business. Yeah, I told you the technology company, so I
Right.
traveled a lot. I traveled a lot of times through uh, Dallas, changing planes because I fly out of Richmond, Virginia, kind of a second tier airport. You can't get there from here a
Right,
lot, right?
right, right, right.
So I make a lot of trips out to California on occasions, and 2 or 3 times a month I was going somewhere. I change planes in Dallas very frequently, but anyway, one Friday I was changing terminals. I was on the SkyTrain that goes around between the terminals,
Hmm.
and a guy on the train dropped his wallet, and I wasn't able to catch him, but I decided I would turn his wallet into the TSA or the police, airport police at the next terminal. But when I looked in it, so I could maybe have him paged, the wallet was totally empty, except that there were 3 different IDs with 3 different names and 3 different addresses and 3 different pictures, all 3 different dates, everything, all of the same guy, right? And that's all that was in the wallet. And this was not like a 16-year-old kid trying to have fake IDs to buy beer, right? This was
Right.
like a 30-something guy or whatever. And I figured, well, he must not be up to something good, right?
Right.
So after I turned in his wallet, I sat down there in the airport waiting for my flight and started scribbling out the ideas for a book on a yellow legal pad while I'm changing planes. And as soon as I got home, I was like, you know,
That
jumped into the writing.
is
That's what
amazing.
drove the first book, and that's what's driven the one incident and making it a series, all from that incident. And I wrote that incident in the book. I mean, I fictionalized it and
Right,
made it a little
right,
bit more,
right.
um, but uh, but it's what started the action. It's what started me down the path of that series. Yeah,
That is
yeah,
incredible. That is
yeah,
incredible. Wow. I love
yeah.
that. I love that.
We find our inspirations in the weirdest places
In the
sometimes, right?
weirdest
A
places,
lost
like
wallet. Yeah,
a lost wallet.
yeah.
That is a great thing. I read that in your bio that you're part of a writers group. Um,
Hmm.
and so when did you join, and how has that writers group supported you or helped you in your journey?
Well, I actually joined them the first time, and I brought out Let the Truth
Hmm.
Be Told. I was a member for a couple of years, and then I got away from it